Hello, Mr. Barry's Geometry. I'm looking at your quadrilateral review and want to take a look at some of these. I checked these off because I'm just going to show you a screen and you could pause this video, maybe save you some lookup time or whatever. You probably have these in your homework, probably better defined and properties listed, but some help I'm here to offer. Quadrilateral, just, four-sided figure. I don't know if you have to have any more than that or any more information than that. Parallelogram. Let's look at a parallelogram, and I just found a good site. And so you're going to have opposite side parallel, opposite sides congruent, opposite angles congruent, and diagonals bisect each other. That would be for parallelogram. Like I said, pause this as you move forward. Rectangle. Rectangle will have opposite side parallel, opposite sides congruent, opposite angles congruent, diagonals bisect each other, diagonals congruent, and 4 right angles. Square. We have opposite sides are parallel, opposite sides congruent, opposite angles congruent, diagonals bisect each other, diagonals are congruent. Diagonals are perpendicular, 4 right angles and 4 congruent sides. Very specific. The kite. We have diagonals are perpendicular. Got to remember that property for a kite. There may be more that you need to write there, but at least you'll have something there. Rhombus. Rhombus, opposite sides parallel, opposite sides congruent, opposite angles congruent, diagonals bisect each other. Diagonals are perpendicular and 4 congruent sides. He has rectangle there twice. I don't think he meant to do that, so I skipped that rectangle because we already did it. Isosceles trapezoid. Isosceles trapezoid. We have 1 pair opposite sides parallel, 1 pair opposite sides congruent, and diagonals are congruent. And then trapezoid. Trapezoid, we have 1 pair opposite sides parallel and 1 pair opposite sides congruent. Now, when we were naming these, judging these, I stuck with that 1 pair. And if they have more than 1 pair, I did not include it. So Mr. Barry might be telling you a little bit differently, but what I'm doing here is I'm just abbreviating Q for quadrilateral, P for parallelogram, and R for rhombus here for number 1. 2, I have quadrilateral and isosceles trapezoid. 3, quadrilateral, parallelogram, and we better understand rhombus and rectangle too. So I would go with both R's there because it qualifies, it has more than that, but at least it has opposite sides parallel, opposite sides congruent, and opposite angles are congruent. So I would go with rhombus and rectangle there. 4, I would just go with quadrilateral. 5, quadrilateral parallelogram. 6, quadrilateral parallelogram. And this would be rectangle, not rhombus. So, rec. And this, rom and rec. Because I believe when you're defining those, a rectangle can't be a square, but a square could be a rectangle. I believe I'm saying that properly. Classify each quadrilateral by its most precise name. Most precise, I would just go with parallelogram there. I would go with kite here. Hopefully you're pausing this. Rectangle, that's REC. Isosceles trapezoid, parallelogram, and rhombus. I'm going to only do the odds. I want you to try the evens. So, walk yourself through these. Make mistakes, learn from them. That's how we grow. This is going to be real easy. X, if this is divided in halves, this 15, that's 15. For number 3, these two are going to equal each other. So I set them equal to each other, and I isolate the variable, and x ends up being equal to 7. For number 5, x just equals 12. If AC, the whole thing, is 24, half of it is going to be 12. And then they want to know x equals EG. They want to know the whole thing, and if half of it is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, find the measures of the numbered angles for each parallelogram. Understanding these are parallelograms, it's going to help us find some answers a lot easier. Remember that these consecutive angles are going to be they're going to be supplementary, so they're going to equal 180. So 100 plus 80 would be 180. So that's why it's 100. This would need to be 70 to make 180. So this would be 70, and that would be 100. Notice the obtuse angles match. Notice the acute angles match. Okay, looking at this, this is 115, this is going to be 115, okay? And if this is 115 and this is 50, we have parallelograms here, so, you know, we do have, you know, interior, alternating interior angles here. And so I did 180 minus 115, gave me that 65. 65 minus the 50 gave me what's left, which is the 15. So I got the 15. Some more problems here, how I got some of these numbers you could see down here, but you could see 1 is 61, 2 is 72, 3 is 108, and 4 is 32. And you might want to pause that and take a look at some of those, how I got some of those answers. Using straight lines and using properties of triangles, all of the interior angles adding up to be 180. 17. I'm going to set these two equal to each other, and I just isolate the variable, and I get x equals 2. I subtracted x from both sides. Then I subtracted 20 from both sides. I got 3x equals 6. I divide both sides by 3, I get x equals 2. I plug that 2 in for x in one of the, I did it in this one. I had to do it in that one because I want to know what this side is because that's going to equal it. And I got 21. 6 times 2 plus 9. And then, so 7y is going to equal 21 because it's, you know, opposite side. So 21 divided by 7 equals 3. Number 19, I'm going to take this one and this one. These are going to add up to be 180 degrees. So I combine like terms, isolate the variable, and I get y equals 10. In order to figure out this one, I'm going to plug this in to this angle right here to find out that this is 52. So 2x plus 52 is going to equal 180 because these two angles are going to equal 180 also. So 2x, I subtracted 52 from both sides, and 128 divided by 2 gives me 64. So x equals 64. That angle would be 2 times that. Okay, taking a look at these down here, I'm doing the middle one, the odd one. You try 20 and 22. Just plotted these points and then put them, connected them as they were A, B, C, D. So A went to B, A, B, C, D as directed because it wants to graph quadrilateral A, B, C, D. So I put them in order. At first I was just going to say, well, this is just a quadrilateral. But then I got to looking and seeing the distance, and it looks like it would be a kite. Okay, so I think that's the labels he was talking about. Just label it. Okay, hopefully this helps and helps you get ready for your quadrilateral test that I'm assuming is coming up soon.